What's up, baby mamas and baby daddies? Welcome back to my channel, She Really Had a Baby, where I'm reclaiming and redefining all things baby mama in quarantine with my baby asleep behind me and me trying to project enough that the camera gets it, but not so much that she wakes up. Go ahead and throw a thumbs up on the video for me thugging it out and still getting this video recorded, even though I'm locked down with baby girl right now. So today is the last video in the series that I've been doing over the past 2 weeks. I am so appreciative and so happy about all of the love and support that I've been getting in the comments. I just feel so grateful for the courage that God has given me to come on here and storytell and be able to relate to a lot of you the way that I have in the past couple weeks. I'm really excited to get back to mommy remixes, fun videos, skits, all of that good stuff. And I know you guys are like, where are all of your videos?
Oh my gosh. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Why did you delete them? I'm covering all of that in the video today, so make sure that you watch all the way to the end. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. So if you've been following along with the series, you know that last week I talked about how I met this wonderful girl named Marisha in a Lyft ride after being in a really dark and bad place where my car was broken down and I was mentally broken down, and she invited me out to this amazing church. I went to go check it out despite how naturally opposed I was to religion the majority of my adult life. And I really enjoyed it. I felt just engulfed with love from everyone at the church. And then I actually started studying the Bible with a couple of the sisters at the church, and if things just shifted a bit, that's because the first memory card just completely ran out of memory. But we're back on. We're back at it. One of the things that was absolutely undeniable about the beginning of my journey to accepting God and His Word and coming into His kingdom was that the more that I was seeking Him and not even fully committed, watching how things in my life just started working out. It's not to say that it was in perfect ways. For instance, my car had been broken down, so I got presented with an opportunity to apply at a bakery that was down the street from my house that I applied at. I have a job opportunity at this cafe, this vegan cafe that's really close to my house for some part-time work, which I definitely need, and ended up getting the job. So I started working part-time as a barista at this cafe. Even though it was only a couple days a week for a couple hours a day, it was an opportunity to make consistent money that wasn't dependent on my car, allowed me the flexibility to still pick up and drop off my daughter from school, and it helped me get caught up. So I was super grateful for that. Unfortunately, I was a horrible barista. Listen, y'all, espresso shots was not my calling. It was harder to make blended coffee drinks than it was to close $50,000 sales on a chat team, and for much less money at that. Y'all hear my water cooler starting up? But back to God. So the more that I was seeking Him, even in the most subtle way, it just seemed like opportunities were presenting themselves. Things were working out. I somehow got caught up in rent. My bills were paid. My daughter is fed and clothed and comfortable. My car was back working. It was things like that that I felt like were God really trying to show me that this was the way. And these are not dramatic changes either, which is really why I think it's important to circle back into the importance of your state of mind when it comes to God, the peace of mind that God gives you, the comfort in surrendering to Him and trusting Him. So I just wanted to share the journal entry that I wrote that kind of evens everything out. I definitely think that becoming a Christian was a much easier transition for me than it may be for a lot of other people, because I was very aware of the fact that I was not a Christian. I've told you no for so long. Everything I deny others of for you, you give back to me. In this instance, it was the power to say no.
I have a hard time doing that with people, but right now you're the only person I don't want to say no to.
And while I was open to change and I was excited to really lay everything before him and submit to him, there were things that rubbed me the wrong way. Modesty. The thought of making sure that I'm physically presenting myself in a way that's not going to cause a man to look at me a certain type of way or to essentially fall into lust was like, I wasn't with it at all. It wasn't that I've ever been someone to like crazily show off my body. I've actually always been slightly insecure, being a little bit more heavy set, but my bosom, is that the disciple way to say it? My bosom area, that was like a selling point for me. So I've always kind of made sure that that area was accentuated. I couldn't understand why it was my responsibility to not have a man look there or look at me. Men should have enough self-control to keep themselves together. And here's what helped me. Spending time with the men that are in the church that I go to, whether it be the single brothers or the brothers that are married, the brothers that are dating. Men of God are different. Men of God are different than any kind of man that I've ever met or come across in my entire life. And I struggled so hard with the thought of helping men because I struggled with like essentially hating men, feeling like I hated men. I'm around men on a daily basis, not in quarantine though, I miss you guys so much. But I'm around men and I'm interacting with men, I'm dealing with men in the church that, oh my goodness, like I wouldn't want to make them struggle. Men that just want to help, men that care about you, men that don't want anything from you. Now, as a disciple of Christ, I want to help all men. I wouldn't want to cause anyone to fall into sin at all, because that's what the Bible says. Which leads me into kind of discussing deleting one of my most viral videos ever.
Bad Mommy Remix. Delete.
Because I've had a couple of viral videos. This is my most viral video ever. When I started confronting the ways that my life didn't match up with what the standard of the Bible was, I started to feel personally convicted of the things on my social media pages.
I don't want to be embarrassed or feel cringy watching my own content.
I was always thinking in my head like, I hope they don't go to my page, because if they go to my page, they go see some crazy stuff. Almost feeling embarrassed, not shamed, but embarrassed of my own content, like the raunchiness of it, the cursing. I was learning, and for the first time in my life, accepting the concept and the idea of purity. And that was when the beginning of like my social media cleansing kind of started. One of my biggest videos on the internet, as funny as it was, I was half naked the whole time. And it's not something that went unnoticed. That was one of the top comments. It was funny, relatable content. It was good timing. It was a catchy, trending song. But like I also had like my breasts hanging out the whole time. I didn't want to ever invite a brother to my YouTube channel or share with a sister about the content I'm creating online and them fall into sin. I have absolutely been miserable creating content for almost the past 2 years now.
And just realizing like how easy it's been for me for a really long time to make pain funny, but I might have been making other people laugh, but I was like still hurting the whole time. So I just want to thank God for making me aware of this right now.
Because I've been chasing this high. I've been chasing this high with my content of getting something to perform the same way that some of those bigger videos where I wasn't as pure did. And let me tell you something, none of them were going viral. My engagement, like I've mentioned earlier in the series, was going lower and lower and lower and lower. And I just started feeling more and more invalidated. I felt trapped by these videos and this content that was so huge that I could never measure up to again. That this wasn't just God's way of showing me that it was time to start anew and start fresh, but it was also his way of freeing me to do whatever I want. There's people that will post a video on YouTube and would be so happy if it did 1,000 views. I have never been happy with 1,000 views because I've been chasing a video to do 30 million. Because I had a video that did 30, 40 million just on Facebook alone once. That was a high that I had been searching for. It was a high that I was thirsting for. And it was a high that completely took away the joy and the fun of the type of content that I create. I was poking a lot of fun at some of the aspects of the not so perfect relationship with my baby daddy. And let's be clear, like, listen, I'm still gonna make fun of my baby daddy. I do it with a pure heart. Sometimes he thinks it's funny. I know sometimes he doesn't. A lot of it is a dramatization of things. Being a baby mama is almost like a character, a role play. The difference when it happens moving forward though is going to be because literally through the strength of God, I've been able to actually let go of the anger. And that's not to say that me and him still don't struggle, because we still don't see eye to eye on many of things, but I can say that on my end, I have actually finally forgiven him of all of the bad things that he's put me through. Does that mean that I'm going to stop making funny content about the dynamics between a baby mama and a baby daddy? No. Do I have to do it and cuss? No. Do I have to do it and make sexual references? No. It's so easy to use a curse word as a punchline. It's so easy to use a sexual reference as this or that. And let me tell you something. Being able to say and do whatever it is that you want is not freedom. You are always going to be a slave to something. I was a slave to sin, and it left me feeling depressed, empty, alone, not content, never fulfilled, always on edge, anxious. I'm going to a Bible study tonight, and I feel, I guess, like a hypocrite because I just feel like people use religion as like a crutch, and I don't want to be that person, but we just don't know what else to do. Like, my whole existence and my purpose is to serve him, and I accept that whatever is happening in my life is happening because he wants it to, and there's a peace in that and a calm in that that I cannot explain. And I thought people were so stupid for having it before, but now I get it. I get it now, even more so in the midst of a pandemic where, yes, there are still 100% stressors and anxieties and situations that are uncomfortable for me. And God couldn't have saved me or brought me to him at any better of a time. And the more I understood my purpose as a daughter of God, as a servant of Christ, the less everything else mattered. None of it mattered.
Today's the day, y'all. I'm getting saved.
It was such a beautiful day. It was awesome. Like, I got my family to come out. It was actually my nephew's first birthday, so I now share a spiritual birthday with my nephew. And on March 1st, 2020, I accepted Jesus as Lord, and
and of course we have Jessica getting baptized today. So awesome.
Share, and then Jessica's gonna share. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. Since what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. Amen. I'm so excited that you get to be so. I'm trying not to cry. My whole life I've just known meant to use you and leave you. And so I struggled with the thought of Jesus using me. And what is your good confession?
That's it.
Can you take a step back? We're gonna have your mama get inside.
Amen.
Just
cover your nose.
on.
All right.
Think about Jesus.
All right. Bye, Jessica.
Bye,
We're good. We're good.
Bring her up.
I've been redeemed by the blood of the Lamb, filled with the Holy Ghost I am. All my sins are washed away, I've been redeemed.
It was just incredible. I've been forgiven of all of my sins. It was a beautiful ceremony. I was surrounded by my brothers and sisters. I had friends and family come out.
Hey, Sam! Wow! Jessica, we love you, girl. We're so excited that you're our sister in Christ now. Now it ain't no turning back. You're part of the family, boo.
And I'm officially a disciple.
There's more besides, and that's not all. There's more beside, and that's not all. There's more beside. I've been to the river and I've been baptized. All my sins are washed away. I've been.
Like what? Like I'm a Christian, y'all. I'm a whole Christian. And the reason that I deleted all of my content is because I have to be an example. And so there are going to be a lot of things that you don't see anymore. There are still going to be jokes. There's still going to be funny things happening, but it's going to be in a pure way because whoever is watching this right now, I love you. And I don't want to lead you away from God. My brand is not, preaching the word, but you're gonna hear it sometimes for sure. There's nothing wrong with being a baby mama, but I'm not trying to be someone's baby mama forever. Like, I'm trying to get wifed up. You know what I'm saying? If it's in God's will. If it's in God's will. All I'm saying, Jesus, is that another baby would be good for the branding. Look, listen. Y'all know it's true. I love you guys so much. I can't believe my kid didn't wake up. Mwah, mwah. I need to get a bigger memory card because this one is just counting down the time like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.